Alright. So you may have heard of this fairly important, high-profile news event that happened just a day or two ago. I don't even know how long it's been, but the heads of all of the big corporations, you know, Facebook and Google and Amazon and the others were in front of Congress, the United States Congress, basically defending their plans for world domination. And I thought now would be an appropriate time to talk about something that actually I have not really mentioned on this channel before, but computer software. I don't really know how to describe it even, but basically computer software is like a big hobby of mine and something that I'm very much interested in, both just as like a practice, but also in political terms it does interest me as well. And I thought on the occasion of this congressional hearing I'd talk about how important it is for people to get their own websites. So one of the big themes in the hearing was that you know, these companies are basically monopolizing the internet. They're completely taking it over, and like it's been going this way for many years now, but basically the internet is becoming smaller and smaller, and it's more and more difficult to exist outside of these platforms. It's true both in like a technical sense, where you'll find that so many hosting services for, like, if you want to put up your own website, you'll find that so many of the hosts are connected to places like Amazon or Microsoft, like tangentially. But then also, you know, in social terms, like it's very difficult to exist as like someone on the internet without using these predefined publishing platforms, these like controlled and privately corporatized publishing platforms like Twitter and YouTube. So I have a website. It's pretty basic right now. It's got a WordPress content management software installed, and I built my own theme, and like well, I designed it myself. So I'm just carrying a couple bike wheels here. But I designed the layout and turned it into a WordPress theme, and now it works pretty well. I'm just using like a DigitalOcean, which is like pretty basic normie host that I didn't like investigate by any means. I don't know if they are known for capitulating to pressure from big tech, but there are some like hosts that people recommend as being more resistant to that sort of thing, whatever. I very much recommend. I think this is like a growing awareness among people on the internet, is that you really need your own space. This is like a big phenomenon on the right side of the spectrum, when you have people like they know that they're vulnerable to like shadow banning, essentially, is what it is. I mean, Alex Jones didn't get shadow banned, he got outright banned, but you know, the right already knows that you can get banned for being too controversial online, and the left should also know that, like, just because like a lot of the cultural values that they talk about are less controversial because, you know, they're in the, I've spoken about this before on this channel, but the cultural values of the left are less controversial because they are actually in the interests of humanity, and people can see that, whereas the right needs to like camouflage and dog whistle, and can only like speak openly in close quarters because they can't really justify or defend their views if they're opposed to what people know is in their own interest. Anyway, this video is really just to talk about how you should get your own website. And another thing that I know that I'm probably over 10 minutes at this point, I must be, but I won't be able to get into this at any length, is that another aspect of internet dependence is being dependent from the like your own personal need to use the internet, which is something that's like I'm not really in a position to scold people for or anything, but it's something to be mindful of. You know, your own need to get that red dopamine. But I'll say more another time.